takeaways that tape revealed that maybe you didn't sense or weren't maybe like your initial reactions to game one?
I don't think there was anything revelatory in the tape that we didn't feel like we saw or felt in live play. I think there's, again, I said this to the team afterwards, there's a lot of stuff that we can do better and a lot of stuff we can clean up. We know that they're going to be the more desperate team in game two, and we have to play with the same sense of desperation we had in game one.
What did, just in hindsight, did you make of the way your team sort of handled the KD adjustment and sort of the way they maybe there's a hesitancy or guard can drop or something like that. You guys seem like you didn't flinch to that news. What did you kind of make of the way you guys handled that?
I thought our week of preparation just put us in a good spot to go into game one, regardless of who was in the lineup for that.
What's it feel like having Luka back?
Oh, it was nice. It's been nice. It's been really nice. He definitely rebounded and passed in some shooting drills. But I think having the group together, 2 out of the last 3 days has been really nice.
Some guys, you tell them you give the green light, and that's all they need to hear, and they're ready to just get shots up. With Luke, what's that process been like? He's a pretty conscientious player. Have you had to kind of, cajole him at all to try to get him to look for those shots more often?
We have constant conversations about that. I think one of the things that just messaging wise was you shooting 6 or 7 threes a game at 38% for the series is better than you shooting 3 a game at 45%. Like we need you to shoot, and it's unlikely he'll go 5 for 5 every game, but I loved his level of aggression. There were 2 there in the second half where we've seen him turn down those shots, and he was able to have the quick trigger.
Obviously, Rui's shot making was there in game one. He shot 6%, had a couple of threes, but defensively, just what did you see from him as a contest, perimeter defender, just those things?
I thought he did a good job of executing our game plan, matchup specific and KYP specific, and had some really good low man clips as well.
DA had a strong outing for you guys as well. How encouraging is that he's playing at this level right now?
Again, it's the ceiling for our team is maximized when he's playing at a high level. I've said that 3 times already in the last week. I don't know how else to answer that. He's doing it on both ends, and I think we're gonna have to play Şengün different ways. I mean, you can't give great players the same look every time. And I thought both him and Jaxson did a good job of contesting his shots.
JJ, you've mentioned the idea of elevating all throughout the last week and a half. How do you keep the guys continuing to elevate? What's your message, and how do you kind of make sure they're continuing to push to have that extra edge in the series?
Well, every day requires something different. Yesterday required an elevated recovery day. Today required a little bit of elevated focus. It was a longer film session and a decent amount of teach talk on the court beyond just the practice session. So tomorrow is going to require an elevated sense of desperation on our part because they're going to come in with that.
How do you balance you won game one, so how do you balance this feeling of you needing to make adjustments with not doing so much that you lose track of how you actually won?
I think within a series, you have to constantly improve, and you have to look for weak points, and you have to identify what your weak points are, and try to counteract that. I mean, that's just the playoffs, and so that's what the last 48 hours has been for the staff, and today with the players.
When we're talking about turnovers, often coaches, players are pointing to live ball turnovers being the most critical ones. I guess same thought going to offensive rebounding, defensive rebounding.
Yeah.
What are the offensive rebounds allowed that are most damaging, and the ones that are more digestible? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think if guys have bodies on people and there's a 3-point shot and there's a long rebound and you get caught on the low side because you were trying to box out, I think those things naturally happen. I think when they have guys in the dunker and you don't get a body on them and they're able to get tip-ins and paint shots or get fouled, there was a number of those. I think that's where they're more consequential, particularly against this team.
I was just going to really quickly, just do you guys have everybody expected today minus
Luca and AR. Yeah. Everybody else was a participant in practice.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Everybody else. Well,
It was amazing. I gotta take a chill day.
obviously, like, you guys know what the tests are against this team and the ways that they're going to put pressure on you, on the glass, throw the ball. How encouraging was it for you guys to win game one when you didn't really either of those two things particularly well?
Yeah, I mean, I think we had like 21 turnovers for like 20 people, or 21 offensive rebounds for 23 second chance points. That's what we gave up, and then had a bunch of turnovers. So, I mean, the fact that we still did all of that and still managed to win is really good. Obviously they're missing KD. But, I mean, obviously we still did a lot of other things right, and just got to keep it up for tomorrow.
Do you guys go into this game expecting KD to play, or is it just sort of whatever happens, happens?
That's whatever happens, happens. It's the NBA, so you never know what to expect with guys and injuries. It's a long season, so guys get hurt. You just got to prepare either way.
Some of these guys played with Keith Kennard in Memphis, so they had a higher degree of familiarity. What did you know of him as a player?
I'm from Ohio. So he's 3 years older than me. My roommate now grew up with him. My roommate Justin, they grew up working out with Luke. I've known Justin for years. I've known Luke for years. So yeah, I used to go up watch him drop 40, 50 a game in high school. It's a fun time. Yeah.
What's it been like to see his role shift?
Yeah, it's been awesome. Like, obviously at Duke, I think he said I was like 20. He was balling. I remember him balling at Duke, and then like his first few years, obviously he was just a shooter, and just seeing him develop over the years and be the best shooter in the league, and just be. I mean, like, I've known he'd been able to do all of it. Like, I watched him do it in high school. Like, I watched him go for 50 and like 10 and 10. Like, so it's like stuff like that. But like just getting to watch him do it in the NBA, and as like being a kid that grew up around the same area as him, being a little bit younger and watching him play as a younger kid is always awesome. Just playing with somebody like that and watching him develop.
What do you think is important in this series for DeAndre to just have in general, but specifically when you see game one and see how effective he was, how are you kind of helping him to keep that level up?
Yeah, I mean, DA came in locked in, and he's one of the best bigs in the league. He was the number one pick for a reason, I think, and I've played against him in Phoenix and Portland. And he's always been great, and so I feel like for me, I mean, also he's been to the finals, so it's like stuff like that. Like when it comes to this serious time of the year, like playoffs, like he's been there, and so he knows what to do, and he just came locked in, and I loved it. It was awesome.
So you competed against him in a playoff series before?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, Phoenix versus Nova. Yeah, but I didn't guard him that series. I played the 4. I guarded Jay Crowder, and Jonas guarded DA, so I didn't guard him that series. But yeah.
JJ was saying that you guys have to show different looks to Şengün in the next game. Just what do you kind of think about that test match going up against him, and now just obviously they're going to be adjusting from both sides going into game too?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like we just gotta come out and do our jobs, and obviously with a skilled player like that, a very talented player like that, you just gotta make sure you're locked in on all your coverages and adjustments, and make sure everyone else is locked in too in their help. And yeah, I mean, we'll just come in locked in tomorrow with our coverages and our plan and execute that.
JJ brought up the idea you're going to be playing a Houston team that's going to have to play a little more desperate knowing they're down a game. How do you prepare for a team that's going to play a little more desperate, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, it's the playoffs. Every team's got to play desperate. I mean, if you lose, you go home. So if you're not playing desperate, then why are you here at the end of the day? But yeah, I mean, we've played against teams like this all year. I mean, obviously, like, they're a very aggressive, very fast-playing, big, long team. And so we just got to make sure we take care of the ball like we didn't do in game one, and just get rebounds and just stay locked in. Yeah.
At that same point, you guys had a lot of turnovers and you practice all week too. Over those, you also practice offensive rebounding all week, and they got 21, they got 15. So now seeing it in the game, how does that help you to put those things down?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can't really practice rebounds. I mean, the balls that come off how the ball comes off during the game. But yeah, we just know they're going to crash. They're one of the hardest crashing teams in the league, and we just got to keep on boxing them out. And I mean, when they send 4 guys, we got to send all 5 guys back to box out, So it's just stuff like that. Yeah.
Jaxson, obviously, it was great for you guys if you were also able to play, but it looked like they were pretty engaged with guys on the bench. What do you think that's come from?
Yeah, I mean, obviously them helping out guys on the bench and just watching the game from that view, you can see different things you don't see when you're necessarily in the game, and so they're able to tell guys that stuff and just help out as much as possible.
Is there anything specific that Luka or Austin told you? Luka's just been back from one
Luka's
game.
just been back. We got my Slovenian passport. That's all he's been telling me.
Oh.
Now he's just been saying my Slovenian brother every time.
Did you really get it?
Yeah.
It really came through?
Yeah, really came through.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
How's your language coming along?
I don't know a single word.
We'll teach you.
Except
We'll
for,
teach you a couple.
actually, I know a few, but I can't say them in front of you guys. All good? Thanks, guys. Y'all have a wonderful
One of the 5 starters to score in double digits game 1. How do you feel like you all helped one another offensively by sharing the ball?
I think especially LeBron started with the start of the game. But whole team, we're sharing the ball. I think we had 29 assists, 30 assists. That was great. I think they just found me on a good space, good position. So that's why I was making all those shots. So yeah, I think it was just a team offense that worked out.
You had a few blocks in the game as well. What were you seeing defensively out there, and what can you take from that going into game 2?
Yeah, it's a playoff. I have to make every plays matter. Every positions matter. So I was trying to make a plays. And not only offense, but defense side and rebounds and all that. So yeah, that's what I was doing.
When Luka was messing with you while the ball was still in play, you were like in the corner, 3-point line. Luka seemed to be messing with you.
When was that?
Second half.
It looked like he hit you on the head.
Yeah, you on the head.
Near you on the near your bench.
Me?
Yeah, you're during game 1. You don't remember?
I don't remember. He always do this. I probably don't even think about it. It's just like I'm used to it. Probably. Yeah, I don't remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, did you wish he was back in Spain when that happened?
I don't remember.
What's it like for them to just be back with the improvement if they're not playing?
Oh, it's amazing. You guys gotta. I think people don't know how much impact the Luka has, not only on the court but off the court. He has he's a guy. Always being around. He always want to be around with us. We love him. Just be around. Just hanging out, talking. So yeah, we're happy that he's back finally, and he's doing, funny things always like always. So yeah, we miss him for sure.
What's he doing? What are you funny things?
He just messing around with the coaches, the players, it's just the the normal thing you guys see on the camera probably, it's a normal thing for him. Yeah.
So you're guarding a man and Jabari a lot in this series. 2 very different players, especially with how much time they have the ball. Like, what's been your approach to that particular assignment?
I think we watched a lot of film about them this last week, the whole week, and I understand their personnel. We played them actually, right before the season ends. So twice. So we know their personnel a lot. So I think I understand their games. The Thompson and Jabari especially. And then when the KD's back, those are my matchups. So I watch a lot of film on them. So that's why I was able to kind of excuse their what they like, what they don't like to do.
How are you feeling about having to execute defensively with a 40-minute role?
I think it's hard, especially on a play, especially in the playoffs. You have to make plays on both hands. The offensively and defensively. I have to make shots, whatever, and I have to execute those all defense. But I think the defense is like more so the team defense. We communicate and we have to focus on those personnel, but I think communicate with those, everybody's kind of helped me, just to, throughout the game we make adjustment and all that. So that kind of helped me, I think just communication is going to be a key for me to, kind of focus on the defense side.
You guys get the news that KD's not going to play right before the game. Just how do you feel like you guys reacted to that and process and moved on?
Yeah, I mean,
defensive game plan as needed.
Yeah, I really didn't know right before the game started. So, my mindset was the same. I don't know everybody else, but it didn't look like nothing changed. We said that we know that we have to beat them. That was the same goal. Same thing. Nothing was changed. We didn't change any game plan, anything. So, yeah, I think we are all locked in, and we didn't. Of course he's the guy there, but we didn't really think about it or talk about it.
プレーオフのシリーズ中なので多分自分のやるべきこととかチームのやるべきことに集中していると思うんですけども、一歩こう探してみるとこのシリーズはレブロンと KD という2人のレジェンド的な選手が プレーオフで対戦するシリーズということで、そういう中にご自身がいるっていうことをちょっと一歩引いてみるとどんな考えがありますか？
自分でもこう小さい頃からプレーオフでこう彼らを見てきてて、オールスターとかでもそう見てる中で、そういう2人がこうやって、僕もその中の一員として戦っていることは僕としてもすごい夢なことだし、夢を見ていることだし、その中でこうやって重要な役割をやられてこうレイカーズとしてやっているので、そういう彼らのその生き生きというか、そういう彼らのキャリアのそのパートになれるってことを僕にとってもすごい嬉しいですし、すごい大きいことじゃないかなと思います。
ビッグゲームになればなるほどずっと活躍してきてるんですけれども、これまでもそういった実績っていうのはこのプレーオフとかで戦う後押しになってるんですか？
そうです、モチベーションですね。やっぱりこうプレーオフっていうのは大事な時期で、一番僕にとっても小さい頃から見てたその大きな舞台なので、そういうところでモチベーションが上がるっていうのはあります。
Thank you guys.
Thank you.